What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. This is something I'm super excited about because we are now going to be filming videos for these podcasts to go up on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are listening to this on podcast, you guys can also watch this on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, let's say that you can't, sit down and watch a video, you can also listen to this on our podcast as well. So they're going to be uploaded to both platforms. Essentially, what we're going to be doing on this podcast is answering any questions that you guys have on your entrepreneurial journey when it comes to starting your own business, when it comes to quitting your job, going full time in your own business, maybe when it comes to, the emotions when starting your business, or just any questions that you guys have about online business and personal training. We're going to answer them here. So, little introduction to what I do. I work with personal trainers. I help them start their own online coaching business. And we've worked with over 200 trainers in our first year in business, and it has been absolutely amazing. But one thing that I wanted to do is start adding more value to the people who are outside of the program so you guys can get a better idea of what it's like to live a life that you absolutely love, but also give you the tools on what you guys need to navigate your journey. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, I recommend going to our podcast and listening to episode 1. That's going to give you a really, really great introduction on what this podcast is all about. And then from here on forward, you will have new episodes uploaded to the YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can go to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and start watching the video content. We are going to be doing a little bit more client interviews moving forward too. So just, be ready for the good content. But really what I want to do on this episode, guys, is kind of talk about, a trip to Miami I took. Now, this is going to be a personal episode. This is not really going to have much utility other outside of what you guys are going to take away from, the personal story. So essentially what we did this weekend is I went to Miami for a business mastermind. This was my first actual event. I have been to smaller masterminds before in the past, and actually the first investment I've ever made in a business coach, the first investment like I ever made was a in-person mastermind. It was a room. It was in LA with Ross Johnson. There was about 10 other coaches there, and I was by far the smallest person there. Like, I wasn't full time yet. I had no idea what I was doing, and everyone there was at least making 10 grand a month. Some people were making 30 grand a month, and I was like, holy shit, how are these people making so much money? And like, I don't even know if I belong here. But something amazing happened when I went to that event was that I spoke and I hung out and I connected with people who are doing, multiple 5 figures a month. And I realized, these people, they're not looking at me any different than I'm looking at them. And I had put them up on a pedestal. I was like, dude, you guys are God worthy. Like, you guys are crushing it. Like, holy shit, you guys have it all figured out. And they're looking at me as if I'm an equal to them. And that really did a lot to elevate my own perceived status in terms of what I'm capable of. Cause I was like, if these people can do it and we're in the same room, we're literally sitting next to each other, then we are the same. We're the same people. Right. And from that event, I took away a lot of, tactical things that I was able to apply to my business that, really radically shifted how I operated and how I did business. But more than anything, I think the thing that I took away mostly, it was that, achieving a high level of success is actually possible. And the thing that got me closest to it was actually going to an in-person event to sit down next to these people who were actually doing it. And so when I saw that Ravi Abuvala was posting or hosting a mastermind in Miami, I knew that I had to go at whatever cost it took. Like, I knew I had to be there because Ravi is someone that I look up to. He is someone that I've been following for some time. I've seen his success, and he's someone I've also wanted to meet. Right, Ravi is a multiple 7-figure entrepreneur, and he's young. He's only 26. He's about to be 27 here pretty soon. And I knew that if I can meet him, if I can shake his hand and I can speak to him, then that level of success would no longer be unachievable. It's like breaking the 4-minute mile. If you guys haven't heard of the 4-minute mile, essentially what that means, or what happened was, I think it was in 1960s or the 1970s, around where Nike was starting to get their start. I think they're still called Blue Ribbon sports shoes, and there was a record for the mile being, ran in a specific amount of time, but nobody knew or nobody believed that the mile could be broken under 4 minutes. And it was a limiting belief that we as human beings faced for the longest time until somebody did it. And then once somebody did it, the 4-minute mile started being broken all over the world. right? Because once someone saw another human do it and saw that it was possible, then other human beings started to believe it was possible and started making it happen. And now the 4 minute mile, has been broken hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Right. And so that was what this event was for me. I've also experienced trainers go through this as well. Um, I had an assistant coach come down one time. His name was Jose Gallegos, and now I mean, his whole entire life has changed. He came down to visit me. He came down for 3 days. I showed him about my business. I showed him about my girlfriend's business. I showed him about my friend's business, and he was absolutely mind blown. He came from a place where you work for your money, right? Hours equals dollars. And it was the first time where he was like, damn, the world is a lot bigger than I realized. And, I can make a lot more money following my dreams, doing something I love than I ever thought or believed was possible. And so that kind of opened up him up to a new experience. So for me this weekend to be surrounded and sitting in a room full of multiple seven-figure entrepreneurs, I was so scared. I was so scared because I felt like I was going to be the small person. And when I got there, I realized, holy shit, I'm not doing so bad. Right. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm just saying it's not as scary as you think. And it's also very empowering surrounding yourself by the right people and knowing, like, oh shit, these are normal ass people. They have normal everyday problems. They just choose to focus on the right things that makes them successful. And so I took a lot of value from that. I had a really, really great time. I learned a lot. A lot of what I've learned is actually what I'm going to be sharing with you guys moving forward. But in the meantime, I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update. We are back from Miami. We are ready to get to work. We are ready to grow the personal trainers business incubator. And from here, guys, if you have any questions, you could always reach out to me. You can follow me on Instagram at Zach Colburn. You can follow me on Facebook at Zach Colburn. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Zach Colburn. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.